Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director, David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, some local kids get hockey tips from one of our Vegas Golden Knights at Lorenzi Park, and you can be a part of the 100-year celebration of an historic West Side landmark. Here to discuss these topics and much more is the councilman who represents Ward 5. You know who it is. It's Mr. Cedric Crear. Welcome back.
Hello, Mr. Riggleman. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm great. 6 weeks goes by so fast. We have so much stuff going on. Every time we come, we just rehash all the stuff we've been doing, and it just all adds up. It's amazing how quickly time flies and how much stuff we get it to do in such a short period of time.
I know. A good show today. You've been busy. A lot of things coming up we want to tell everybody about as well. If you're not exactly sure where Ward 5 is located, hey, we have a tradition on this show. We're going to show you on the map. It's right where the 5 is, appropriately enough. Basically, this is the area that encompasses some of our downtown, as you can see there, but then it goes all the way out to the northwest. So it's a very interesting ward because it encompasses a large geographic area and a really diverse area, too.
It is. We have 3 area commands: Downtown Area Command, Bolden Area Command, Northwest Area Command, which are all in our ward. That's somewhat unique as well. We've got downtown, and we've got central of the city. Then we go out into the rural areas a little bit, and the rural areas see things a little bit differently than the downtown corridor, so we have a variety. We have a lot of big box stores. We have Smith Center, Ward Market Center, so we have a really diversified ward, as you said, which is pretty neat.
If you live in that area, of course, you are represented on the City Council by Mr. Cedric Crear. Councilman, we just recently celebrated, or didn't celebrate, it's obviously not the right word, we remembered 9/11. And it's hard to believe, we were talking about this before we went on the air, it's hard to believe it's been 22 years ago that terrible day occurred. But here in Las Vegas, we have a tradition every 9/11 in the morning, at the time the first plane hit the tower, we have a remembrance at Fire Station 5. You were there this year.
I was at Fire Station 5, and thank you to all of our fire personnel who come out, and Tim Samatsky, who recreates this sound. He rings the bell at the exact time the first plane hit. We have a memorial there that is stationed there. You can go by any time to take a look at it, which is a piece of the World Trade Center that's there. But the goal is to remember such a tragedy happened on our soil, as well as to pay homage to those who made the ultimate sacrifice. And then also remember that, look, we live in a very dangerous society, and we need to make sure that we're alert and that we don't let our guard down. And so combine all of that into one. But it's great that we continue to remember and we never forget.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And so many connections with Las Vegas. We have a lot of retired firefighters.
Yeah, the 1013 Club.
And police officers from New York who now live in Las Vegas.
Yep, we had that event as well, and they come together once again at Police Memorial Park to recognize or remember. And then those are individuals that were actually there, that served during that time. Some of them were there during that time in New York City, so it makes it even more special.
Yeah. World moves on. It's interesting, of course, American Airlines heavily involved back on September 11th, 2001. And it's interesting because all these years later, you had posted this on Facebook. You said, "Congratulations to my Alpha Phi Alpha brother, Richard Wynn, Executive Director of Aviation Institute of Maintenance, on the opening of the American Airlines classroom." And that's here in Las Vegas, right?
It is. AMI, it's short, is, I think, a sleeping giant. They train a lot of our plane manufacturers, and people come in to be services these planes. They literally build planes right here in Las Vegas.
I didn't know.
All of the maintenance of the planes, whether it's engines, whether it's what have you, are there, and they're these young adults are going through classes. They get certified, and then they go work for all the airlines that are there, and there's base right here, and it's pretty amazing.
Good paying jobs.
Oh, they're great paying jobs, great careers, great benefits, not just health benefits, but other benefits that go along with it. But plus, it's a huge skill that you can take. You can go anywhere around the world with this skill set. And so you could be working in Europe, you could be working in the United States, you could be working in Las Vegas. And so American Airlines was a big sponsor of them, and they opened up the American Airlines classroom. The classroom is pretty cool. It's got a lot of old memorabilia also of American Airlines. There's a huge tire that's
stuff
there.
Like that.
If you're an aviation sort of geek, you would love this room because they have old pictures of a lot of things, and it is really, it puts the real world right into this classroom. And so congratulations to AMI.
I'm glad you highlighted that. I had no idea that was going on here.
I agree. And I went out there, I spoke at their graduation not too long ago, and it's just really been on my radar and making sure that we create a pipeline for kids in our community to go in through a profession that you might not think about, but is a highly skilled, highly professional profession that pays well, great benefits. You know, me, I'm a big believer that if you give a person a good job, you change their life, you change their family's life, and ultimately you change our community's lives.
Absolutely. You were out there on September 2nd, in fact. So, and then Councilman, I love this too. You posted this on Facebook. You said, "Thank you to Vegas Golden Knights Logan Thompson for hosting a street hockey camp for our youth in the community this past weekend at the VGK ball hockey rink at Lorenzi Park." And this thing has been such a huge success. It has. You dedicated this not that long ago, but look at all this. Yeah, we
had a great turnout. How about the Knights once again, just stepping up. They donated this roller hockey rink at Doolittle, which is right in my ward, a park that one of the oldest parks in the city, a park that I used to walk to as a kid and go play sports and hang out at the park. And here we are, we have this roller hockey rink, and it's always like, okay, so now what are we going to do with it? Well, now you can see exactly what we're going to do with it. Huge turnout. Thank you to the Golden Knights. Once again, they do a great job. The foundation does a great job, and they have really made such an impact in our community from the day they started here. Not only just winning the Stanley Cup,
which is nice,
which is a little something that we brag on. My goodness, I didn't grow up with hockey, obviously in Las Vegas, but I talk so much hockey mess to my friends around the country nowadays.
Sure.
If I've been a Detroit Red Winger forever, or one of the old teams, the Islanders, but we're Hockey City, man.
That's right. We got the Stanley Cup. It's here.
We do, yeah. It's physically here, I think. It's been touring around. That's kind of been cool to see, too, that you've seen the Stanley Cup touring around and you can go see it. And it's great. We are a Hockey City.
Oh, you're born and raised here. I've lived here, 36, 37 years. And to have a professional team, major league teams that we do now, and then to actually win the Stanley Cup, the Aces winning the
WNBA.
It's just I kind of have to pinch myself. It's like years ago, this. People said, "Oh, you'll never have it. Won't make it in Las Vegas."
Well, look, I remember when they just had the Las Vegas Convention Center, which held like 6,000 people. There was a rotunda. We played basketball there.
I remember that.
And then we built the Thomas and Mack. The Thomas and Mack was like, my goodness, this is Madison Square Garden combined into, the Roman Forum or something. It was wow. Opening night, Sinatra, Barbra Streisand performed there at a huge concert. I remember tickets were really expensive. They coveted to get the tickets there. We've grown that. We had concerts and shows. And, a lot of shows would never route to Las Vegas because they didn't have a venue.
It wasn't big enough.
Yeah, it wasn't big enough. And so we either had the Silver Bowl, which is Sam Boyd, and maybe you got a U2 and big shows like that. But a lot of shows didn't come to Vegas. And now we got the Thomas and Mackmore show started coming, and then we built all the other ones, and now everybody comes to Las Vegas, and so it's great. Speaking of WNBA, Aces, #1 seeds in the WNBA. My goodness, go Aces, go! Let's knock it out. Let's and let's hope that Asia gets the MVP. She's earned it. Man,
it's hard to believe. It is hard to believe that we are now kind of not only the entertainment capital of the world, but arguably one of the sports capitals of the world, if not the sports capital of the world.
Well, we are getting there. Raiders, Oakland A's are coming, WNBA,
Formula One,
Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, USL soccer. We have all the different NCAA basketball tournaments are taking place. We had the Grade 8 last year, and soon we'll get a Final Four, Pac-12. My goodness.
It's good stuff.
But it makes sense. Who doesn't want to come to Vegas?
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Right? Who does not want to come to Vegas? If you see Vegas on the calendar, if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and you look at your schedule and you go, Vegas.
That's the away game we'll go to. Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to Vegas.
A smart call.
Yes.
And Councilman, we love when new businesses open in town, not just sports teams, but any new business is really good. You posted this on Facebook. You said, congratulations, Arizona Charlie's, on the opening of River Rock Pizza and Pasta. Golden Entertainment has put so much into their properties, and we thank them for bettering our community. Yeah, Golden Entertainment, just an institution here.
They are. They came in, they own the Arizona Charlie's brand. They also are operators and owners of the Strat. And the amount of money they put into their properties has just been great. The work that they've done at the Strat, if you walked in there, 10 years ago, it looks completely different. It's so modernized to what it looks like now. The Arizona Charlie's brand, this River Rock Pizza and Pasta is great, right there for locals to come in.
It's in Arizona Charlie's,
It's inside Arizona Charlie's, right on Decatur.
Yeah.
That's been there forever. It's been family owned. The Becker family had it, and Carl Icahn had it, and now Blake Sartini, Golden Entertainment have it. So, it's been there for a long time. Great property. Our former mayor, Ron Lurie, used to run Arizona Charlie's for a long time. They had the restaurant in there. It was Ron's, was the steakhouse, and it's great. So it's such a rich history of the property, and it really services the locals and services our community.
That was one big pizza too. That was
a big pizza.
That was a big one. So don't order that unless you're really hungry. So no, it looked great. And then Councilman, I love this too. You had the Love on Jackson Street, Jackson Avenue. Jackson Avenue celebration here just recently as well.
It's funny you say that, Jackson Street, because
I know that's what everybody
calls it. I grew up, it was Jackson Street, Jackson Street.
Technically,
technically it's Jackson Avenue.
Right.
It just doesn't flow well off the tongue. And even myself have to get used to the fact that it's Jackson Avenue, not Jackson Street. But yeah, we started about 3 years ago, just doing a little block party in the community, let them know what was going on, what was happening. Year 2 got a little bit more busier. Year 3 this year was great, huge turnout. But it also combined the celebration with the reopening of Jackson Avenue, the street itself. We went through a $7 million complete street program, which creates infrastructure on the bottom. The street is now smaller and the sidewalks are wider to incentivize businesses to come in, more walkable community. New lighting coming down, modernized lighting, trees to create some shade space. It really is beautiful. And we had a huge turnout. Food trucks, we had stage, we had entertainment, we had bouncy houses for the kids, and thank you to all of our vendors, and thank you all of our team members in community service and special events for putting that on.
Yeah, putting it on.
Great job.
And I asked you this before, so is this going to be an annual event now?
It is an annual event. We're big on creating annual events. We have our Love on Jackson, which will be better and better each year. We have our Symphony Park Cultural Arts Center craft fair that takes place. We started that a couple years ago, which has grown and grown and grown. So yeah, we're into building things, right? At one point, we're going to have both of those events will be wall-to-wall people, and you and I look back and go, you remember that?
I remember.
Remember when we first started that?
Yeah. The first year.
Yeah, we had 200 people here, and now we've got 2,500. Yeah, no doubt about it. So it's great.
Sounds great.
Exciting, very exciting times.
Well, good stuff. And I like when that kind of thing takes off. Those new things. And then, Councilman, schools back in session. Hard to believe, been in session about a month now.
Yeah.
Hard to believe that. But you recently did a bunch of school donations, right? Doris Reed Elementary Schools, one of them, that's where you are here, I think. But you had pallets and pallets of this, right?
We do, and we started a couple years ago to sort of change things up a little bit. We wanted to ensure that the resources that we are providing to our schools that got directly to the schools. And so we decided to create pallets of supplies that consists of everything from books to pens to pencils, backpacks, to even important stuff like Kleenex, which you don't think that a teacher or a classroom needs, which is vitally important. And then we are able to take it to the schools, and the schools are able to distribute it as they see needed. So if it's kids that need it, or if it's teachers that need those supplies, they can go to their storage facility and they can grab that stuff and they can utilize it. And it gets directly into into the classroom and directly into the schools that we represent here in Ward 5.
And Councilman, you've been doing that since you got elected, right?
Yeah, we have been, and it's great. That project has also grown. We have like 13 schools that we drop off supplies to every year. The principals are so appreciative of it, and the teachers are so appreciative of it that we're doing our best to contribute. Even through COVID, and even when schools were shut down, they still needed supplies, and we still helped them out as best as possible.
So the supplies, things that the teachers would otherwise have to kind of provide themselves.
They would.
Where you step in, right?
And I tell you, it's unfortunate, but classrooms don't have the supplies. You know, we always hear the stories about teachers coming out of pocket of their own money. Teachers are not paid enough to start off with. Now they have to come out of their own pocket in order to buy the needed utensils and services and pens and pencils and notebooks and things that you need for a kid to be successful. So we're doing our best to try to help them out as best as possible.
I'd say 13 pallets. Is that how many? That's a lot of supplies.
Yeah, we had a huge truck, and you saw them taking it out. And so we did that 13 times throughout the course of the day.
So is that just elementary schools or all schools?
No, so it's all schools in our ward, just about. Even Western High School is the only public high school in Western, so we dropped off supplies at Western High School as well.
Western and the elementary schools, middle schools.
Yeah, the middle schools, and there's a huge need.
Well, they're covered now.
Yes.
13 pallets of supplies. I'm sure they're going to be in good shape for a long, long time, which is good. Councilman, we have some upcoming events that we want to tell people about.
Steady busy.
Yeah, you are. So the first one, we'll do these in chronological order. The first one is on September 28th, Conversations with Crear. It's going to be at the new Starbucks on West Lake Mead from 9 to 10:30.
Right on Lake Mead and Jones. We do our community conversations. We come out. If you want to come out, meet me, talk to our team about what's going on, have one-on-one conversations, urge you to come out. It'll be that morning, 9 to 10:30, right at the brand new Starbucks at Lake Mead and Jones, in a brand new revitalized shopping facility that's there too. So come on out, check us out. We love having you. We love talking about what's going on in our community.
What do you typically hear at those, Council? When people come out, are they talking about what issues?
It ranges from everything. People who have nonprofits are looking to get assistance from things. People want to know what's happening. Where are we at with some of the issues that's going on? What's going on in the community? Right behind there, we built our brand new Becker Tech Recreational Park that's there. Information that we give out about services out of there, about programs out of there, even with our active adults out of there. And sometimes people just want to come out and just meet their elected official. Just to say hello. I've had people come out and say, I have nothing, I don't want to ask you for nothing, I just want to meet you. And so that's great that we get a chance. Yes, it's great that we get a chance to say hello and meet our neighbors face to face.
Councilman, it's interesting you say that. I hear often when you council members go out and have those informal sessions like that, how much people appreciate that. Because, and we've said this on this show many times in the past, but people sometimes feel intimidated coming to
Of course
City
they do.
Hall.
Sure they do.
And
sure they do.
Especially to a council meeting, it's on the record, it's on TV. People can maybe feel a little intimidated by all of that. The TV lights are on. But
I'm intimidated by that sometimes. You're like, oh, okay.
And you're on the council. But to come out to an informal conversations with Crear and your colleagues do the same thing.
Very casual. In your flip-flop shorts and a t-shirt, come on out. There's no protocol.
Over a cup of coffee, a scone maybe, whatever it might be. It's just takes that whole. You feel like I've got a real connection with my council.
It is. And, I always say local government is where the rubber meets the road also.
Right.
And whether no matter where you come from, Chicago, you come from New Jersey, you come from Las Vegas or whatever, people know local government. You may not know who your state senators are sometimes, or your governor, or your federal, because it's sometimes far removed. But people know local government, and whether you call them councilmen, somewhere you call them aldermen, or whatever in your area.
That's right.
Local government is where you go to receive services and receive answers to your questions.
And most of the time, the services are going to touch your lives directly: the streets, the parks, etc. All local.
That's right.
City.
From trash pickup to trying to get a speed bump because someone's speeding down your street every day, to building Circa, and everything in between. We touch, and that's the beauty about local government.
That's right. Then, Councilman, another event coming up. This is a biggie, a big one. This is going to be on September 30th. But the Historic West Side School Centennial Celebration. The Historic West Side School is going to be 100 years old, And so on September 30th, beginning with a parade at 10 and then a festival from 11 to 4, we are going to mark the 100th anniversary of that school.
You know what's great about this is it's the oldest school in Las Vegas. It just so happens to be located in the historic West Side in Ward 5. And we've been working with some great partners, from Brendan Williams, who was a student at the school, to other students who are at the school, to create something special and to commemorate the 100-year celebration of this amazing school, the oldest school in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
How about that? And you know, a few years ago, we put a huge revitalization to it, about $16 million. We revitalized the school itself. It is now the home of KCP Radio. It's home of our historic West Side Design Center. We have offices there. We're building Chef Jeff project is going there. We have a tech center that's there, our Strong Future Technology Center there, our Workforce Development Center, which is a partnership with CSN, is going to go right there next to it on the campus. So it is soon becoming a true hub of the community.
Well, 1923 to 2023, that school has served the community in a variety of different ways, obviously as a school, and now, as the councilman described, providing many other services to the community as well. So
we've included the Paiute tribe, which had a lot of students that went there, and they played a huge role in the success of it. So it's a very comprehensive celebration. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll have events taking place throughout the day. So please come out and join us.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. That parade, again, the parade is at 10 o'clock in the morning on the 30th, and then the festival goes from 11 to 4. And you guys have been planning this, working on this for a long time.
We have. There's a working group coming together, and just a great, momentous occasion. You know, look, we're in Las Vegas. Many times we implode our old and we build the new. This is something that we really take pride in, and we've restored our old and still making it an active part of our community.
Yeah, it's so true. And we've done some really great things. The historic 5th Street School, same thing, a wonderful renovation there, and that it's just a living piece of history.
Yeah.
And
you can feel it when you walk in.
You surely can.
You know, you feel like you're in a special place when you walk into these buildings, and it's great. All right, you know, we have a rich history in our city.
We do.
And something that we don't always get a chance to highlight and discuss. As much, I sit on the Centennial Commission, which works to preserve our history in our community. And so we do have a rich history, and we need to tell it, we need to preserve it.
Yeah, that's for sure. So again, everybody, September 30th, the parade is at 10, and then the festival 11 to 4 at the historic West Side School there on the West Side, appropriately enough. So, and then last but not least, Councilman, we want to let everybody know you have the annual Ward 5 Community Forum. Is going to take place Thursday, October 12th. From 6 to 8 p.m. at Las Vegas City Hall, right here at City Hall.
You know, we've done this since the first day I walked in office, and the concept was to say, okay, what are we doing in our community? Let's bring everybody together on an annual basis to talk about the work that we've done, where we're going. People have an opportunity to meet the different departments. So if you're Parks and Rec, Operation Maintenance, Neighborhood Services, Public Works.
Yeah, exactly.
Our teams will be there. You can ask questions. You can talk about it. If you have a project you think you might want to do, you can talk directly to those individuals that really make that happen. We invite our marshals, our fire safety folk. Metro will be there to also give updates on what's happening with the ward. And it's just a good snapshot of what's taking place and where we're going, which is pretty great.
Infrastructure projects, parks projects, whichever, you're going to get an update on everything going on in Ward 5. It's a one-stop shop to find out everything. Right?
It is. So, you got an issue with the cones, and our new Director of Public Works, Joey Paskey, will be there with you, Joey.
That's right.
Joey will come ready.
Explaining.
Yes.
But you know what? It's temporary. It's always temporary.
Yes, it is.
We're working on it.
And it's also a short pit stop for the future. Because once it gets done, you'll forget about it, and you'll be like, oh my God, this is nice.
This worked out really well. So. Well, Councilman, the time with you always goes by really fast. We're just about out of time here, but we want to tell everybody out there, we always want to hear from you. So if there's something you'd like to share with Councilman Crear, you can find him on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also contact him by picking up the phone, 702-229-6405, or send him an email. His address is ccrear@lasvegasnevada.gov. and hear one of his great staff. We'll get right back to you. So
Thank you, sir.
well, thank you so much. Great show. We'll see you back in 6 weeks. It'll go like that.
It will go like that.
And we'll do it again.
Yeah, fall season. It's
A lot of events. You got a lot
cooling
going
down
on. Yeah.
and time to get outside and kind of do some great stuff. So
right.
enjoy. Thank you all.
Thanks, Councilman. Appreciate it. And folks, don't miss our next show beginning on September 21st with Ward 6 City Councilwoman Nancy Bruni. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Also, look for our QR code during the closing credits of this show to sign up for our newsletter. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time around.